Welcome back to the Spirit of Creating and part 4 of the series of Uncovering Your Creative Confidence. The journal guide that accompanies the series is available through the link provided. And in today's episode, we are looking at making new choices. If you have found that up until now, you've not felt confident in the way that you wanted to, then always know that you can choose again. It's not always a conscious act when ideas and beliefs that erode our self-confidence appear. We are not aware of the exact moment we had a thought that something about us or our art was not good enough and decided to believe it and leave it to grow unquestioned over the years. If you don't know it's there, you wouldn't think to remove or replace it. So shining a light on the fact that there has been an error in our thinking and an errant belief became embedded gives us the opportunity to remove it and understand that it was always a choice and that we get to choose again. And this never stops being true. If you choose to be more confident and you forget that choice and fall back into habitual thinking and feeling, you get to choose again over and over. It's like infinity. It doesn't run out. You don't run out of opportunities to choose again ever. So know that you can't get this wrong. You can choose, forget, and that's okay. Over time, the feeling and sense of confidence will naturally just feel better than how you were thinking or feeling before, and there'll be less incentive to want to go back to old belief systems. But it's fine if you do, because you've got it, you get to choose again. You'll always get to see the after effects of your thinking on your creativity and inspiration, because there's a tangible difference when you're operating from a space of self-doubt and what gets created or shared then, and how it feels when you do it from a sense of confidence and what you create and the ways you show up from there. And there'll be a tangible, noticeable difference between the two. Notice that our creativity goes nowhere much like our confidence. It's ever present. We have just blocked it or covered it up with unhelpful thoughts, but thoughts that feel true to us at the time, so we believe them and then we act from them. We've all had that experience when we're using Google Maps or a sat nav when driving. And when we deviate from the designated route, it takes a minute and then it tells us it's rerouting. It's now looking for a new route from where you currently are because you took a turn other than what was expected of you. And our thoughts and behaviors are exactly the same. We can deviate from them anytime that we choose. So if we are living with a belief system that tells us that we lack the confidence we need to create what we want and put it out into the world, then all our actions will be directed by those beliefs. We will only be able to follow the route of the low confidence creative because that's what's been programmed into the system that's driving us. But just because we have a thought 1,000 times or hold a belief about ourselves and our abilities over a lifetime, it still doesn't mean that we can't decide in any moment to change direction, to think a new thought, to hold a new belief. That is entirely up to us. You know, the beauty of this is that we can reroute. Just because you have thought something for a long time does not mean you have to keep thinking it. You are entitled to rethink any thought anytime you wish. And with rerouting of your thinking, a new directive is born, and action then stems from that new way of thinking. And it may take time for the thought to take, and it will require a level of practice, but it's a creative way to access your confidence by questioning long-held beliefs and not just blindly living by them as though they're irreversible. They aren't. They're not irreversible. They're totally irreversible. Our brains seek out ways to corroborate what we think and believe about ourselves, and that's its job. Just as much as you can't type in Cardiff into your sat nav and expect to end up in Worcester, you can't internally hold a belief that you lack confidence and then be acting and feeling confident. They don't match up. Your actions will always match up to what you're really believing about yourself and your abilities. So let's do some journaling and come up with these questions that I wanted to ask you. When it comes to your creativity, what thoughts and beliefs have you been operating from? What beliefs are fueling your actions? Where would you like to choose again? What thoughts and beliefs would you prefer to have and cultivate? and what beliefs would need to be added for them to correlate with the actions you would like to be taking. What choices are you making now and why? Now, I want you to take time to think about these questions. I've created the guide so you can follow along in your own space and time and reflect. And I'll be back again next week when we take a look at practicing new ideas and beliefs. So if you have any questions about this episode, or you want to share some of your findings, or have any questions that have arisen because of the journal prompts, then please feel free to message me on Instagram, or you can email me at illustratingbrain@gmail.com, and I'll be back again next week.